it is indeed a occasion which we need to remember. This is a centenary year of Sri Jayaramdas Patel, our founder, chairman, and person who is really responsible to bring up this hospital to this level. And first of all, before we start the function, I would like to show you the film which has already been done after his demises in 2010. After 2010, start the remembrance. Thank you.
Patel Urological Hospital.
My father, Jayaramdas Patel, had a vision to provide world-class treatment for urinary diseases at the patient's doorstep at affordable cost. That is how Patel Urological Hospital was established at a native
transplant. Then he realized that there was a time when for 6, 7, 8 weeks, every Sunday we were doing transplant. Transplant means there was no weekend available to us. And after some thought, he said, no, we will have another building. And then we will do the transplant ward separately, transplant theatre separately. So during the weekdays you can do transplant and you can have a Saturday, Sunday off. Have a Saturday, Sunday off. For that you don't build a building. But the way he put it, such a way that you are expanding, your OPD is expanding, your thing you are doing it in 2 rooms. Now you got to, he had a planner. He was, he told it is a corporate thinking. And he opened the OPD, administrator, then X-ray and everything he built up in that research building and doing. Even for a research building, he had a separate organization. And we got approval from science and technology and we got 3512 because again, the idea was clear. All the hospital equipment or capital expenditure was done by the management. But day-to-day running you have to do. He will not give a single money for that. So we were working very hard, and then of course Dr. Bapat joined, and we started a teaching program. But he realized that the students are working very hard. There is nothing, actually, there was no entertainment in Nadiyad. The residents' entertainment was only in the hospital, seeing the patient and then doing the work. But then he realized that they will not stay for long. Now look at that man's thinking. He says you must have a resident quarters where all the residents are staying together. We had Ratnasagar, 2, 3, 4 flats, but he said no. And then he did a Bhumi Pujan there, and then we started. Mohan actually was sitting for the Bhumi Pujan, and then we built up 4 blocks, 24 flats. Then we planning, I say we can have more flats because we can. No. You see, the most important person in doctor's family is his wife. And if you don't please the wife, she will make a trouble for him. So let's give him 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom flat, and that is a spacious flat. Correct? The spacious flat. And then we made a garden and everything, and the playground for the children, and then ladies would sit together in the evening, have a friendship, and they didn't miss their husband if they came late. So the husband were working there. But that was a thinking. Then he says, probably the doctors will go, not stay because of their education. And then, of course, he realized that Sujata had to go and stay in Baroda to make sure that the Aditya and Mayuri, they get their education, because they were an important year of that thing. So he was a chairman of the Bhavan school, and one of the board member, and he got a Bhavan school which is in Riyadh, which is one of the last 2 years, their result is 100% for SSC. They have reached up to 12th standard, and you have the most modern facility in that school. To make doctor stay here more, who would make a school where they can do it? Anything which we needed, even in personal life, mine or Mohan's or anybody else over personal life, he would be interested to know, is there any problem, if you want anything. He was always concerned. I always felt that even though he was an industrialist, he had an industry in India, he had an industry in Malaysia, he had an industry in Japan, but a person of industrialist who is dealing with all this thing should be the one who is very strict and thing with finance and everything. But he never worked that way. He worked with his heart. You wanted anything, he would give it. You know, so many expensive instruments we have. He would never ask how much you earn out of it. He'll ask how many patients benefited out of this. He was always concerned with the patient. He was always concerned, whatever you do, give the best to the patient. Once he said, okay, I want, when he came in May, it was very hot. He says, look at this general ward. The patients are there. It is so hot. And then of course we had some problem with the dehydration and sodium loss and everything. He says, make it air conditioned. So we said, sir, our expense, electricity bill is the 22% or something, 18 to 22%. And if you put air condition in 4 rooms, it will go up. There is no way you can do it. We went around, he was going around the ward. He asked the patient, if we have air condition, you won't be happy? Yes, we'll be very happy. See, I was telling you, he was arguing with us, that patient will be very happy. Now, when we came out, that patient's wife came behind. Sir, please. I said, what happened? I don't have air condition at home. But if you can reduce the price of the treatment, it will help me. So we told him. So he realized, okay, this thing. I think that is the first time he sent a team of people to do the costing. How much we should charge and things. He always interested in the welfare of the doctor. He never wanted a doctor not to earn money, because he knows the doctor also need to support the family, staff has to support the family. And then, of course, our annual day was a grand function. He would enjoy and he would do. And there are so many instances. In 2005, when we had a meeting and then we put a proposal for a robot, he had readily accepted. We go for a robot. I got chickened out. I said, if you buy a robot now, it will cut down all the budget of every other department. And how can we make 10-12 crore rupees? Not an easy job. And then we started doing a laparoscopy and increased our field before we said, okay, we'll go for a robot. So I think every time, if you wanted anything, and if we can justify it to him, he would do it. Of course, we always a trick with him to get thing out of him is we used to meet in Ahmedabad, Achho Kaka, Prahlaji, Mohan, me and Bhaskaran. And then of course he used to like his little drink, and then we have one round, and then we talk. Sir, this is the thing which we want, and then he'll ask few questions and he'll readily agree. I tell you, Jayaramdas, even when we make this building, I wanted to make video urology conference. We were asked to do on the spur of the moment within 8 or 9 months, and then we did it in Goa, and Jayaramdas came, and that time I asked him to ask Arthur Smith if we want a endourology conference. So in his speech he said, we want an endourology conference, and then it was given to us. So I went to the USI and said, we would like to do an endourology conference. We had to pay $30,000 as a deposit and fee for the conducting that. Now it is $100,000. That time it was $30,000. And USI had a little bad experience with SIU when SIU was taken away from us. The USI say, we do not want to get involved in the financial aspect. We will support, but we cannot pay you. So I asked Jayaramdas, they cannot pay the money. So how much it is? $30,000. $30,000. 10-12 lakhs. Okay, we'll give it. So I didn't have. So I immediately paid the deposit, and then we had a World Endourology Congress in Bombay. It was one of the most successful conference in the endourological history, and that was the idea we got of teaching and training, and that's why today in this memorial building we are standing, which is what Dr. Bapat referred, is a JAPAC is most memorable. People still remember everywhere that this is Mohan's family, and Aditya now, only change I see is that he lost hair, and he has been blessed with a boy. I think he would have been very happy to know that. And Mauri is a remarkable ENT surgeon in Bombay, and now she's doing a wonderful job. And Sujata is so happy that now she wants to probably spend more time in Germany. She doesn't want to do any more work. And there are so many good memories which we have, and this is where Mohan and Sujata are sitting for the Bhumi Pujan, and this is the building which came up, and this is again Mohan, and affectionately he's giving him, and this is a Renu, and so he was involved in every family. Go faster, go to Puja. So he was there always, and every occasion which we celebrated, he was there. That small girl. Go back one day, one more. This is Somali. That time she was 5 years old. Now she is secretary in that. Next. This is the video urology conference. Next. Let me go. And this is a many occasion annual function, and this is the 12th West Zone USICON when Snehal Patel was president, and Mir got some prize, and this is again West Zone, and this is the international faculty who has been attending. The Bapat sir got the prize of BC Roy Award. That time we had a function. This is one of the annual function where we are together. And Nita Bhabi has been involved again because of her ability to do the artwork, and then she has a sense, and then she's here. So this is a different. This is a 25th Silver Jubilee function, and whole family is there. She appreciated the World Congress, Annual Day 2005. This Snehal was not well, but still he comes sometime. This is our meeting. This is the academic center when it was being built. He personally was supervising and inspecting, and this is the JAPAC, which is a monument. And that's why Jumbo welcome to the JAPAC, Jayaramdas Patel Academic Center. This all elephant thing is Bhaskaran's idea, and with Rohit Bhai. And this is the time Jayaram Bhai convinced Rohit Bhai that he should become a vice chairman, and he got involved. And see, that time he was totally not involved at all. When Jayaram, when he saw all this function, today Rohit Bhai is one of the time he spends is thinking about the hospital. And that was the influence of a person on everyone. And this is a man of all seasons, dynamic, enthusiastic, far-sighted, ever young chairman, founder, MPH, Sri Jayaramdas Patel. We owe him thanks for the vision and support. And this is a Shyam Joshi. And this is a president when we inaugurated the JAPAC, the governor of the state. This is a JAPAC function, and this is a Praful Patel. This is a Katie Fu from Singapore, and this is a Michael Berberger from Vienna. So we had almost all international faculty coming here, and this is even in last few years he was still interested in the progress of the JAPAC. Now in this building we have done 91 courses, and delegate participation is more than 6,548, and DNB result is 100%, and the people who have passed out from here has gone all over India and established themselves, taken the message. When he died, we had some messages, and this is a Peter Alken, the one who invented the PCNL. He said, "Dear Mahesh, this is our fate. We all go this way. But it is good have had a giant among us who let us stand on their shoulder for some time." That's very true. It is because we were standing on his shoulder, we could grow taller. Otherwise, it would not have been possible. This is Mihir was already in America. He has had a positive impact on our life in many ways. We join you in a prayer to God for his soul to rest in peace. And he remarked that Jayaram Kaka was a grandfather to us. Christian Chaucy was the one inventor of the lithotripsy, and he was in Bombay and he went to his house. The atmosphere in his home with his family was so loving and warm. And this is Gopal Badlani, and he was a visionary and worked his magic through you, and his legacy is MPH and JAPAC. My condolence to his family, Gopal Badlani. This is Christopher Chang from Singapore. More importantly, many poor souls who would otherwise not be able to receive a world-class care have been well taken care of with a compassion. It is a story that needs to be told over and over again, as it warms the heart for those who are still struggling to do likewise and often lost in despair, wondering if it could be achieved. And eventually we started a oration on the name of Jayaramdas Patel in USI. And that time the Honorary Secretary wrote, "Dear Mahesh Bhai, he was a man with a vision and dream for MPH, which he fulfilled during his lifetime. His lifetime contribution has made MPH a world-class center for training and urological care. MPH provided a launching pad for many nationally and internationally renowned urologists and has molded the career of many doyens in urology. I am sure MPH and everyone associated with this institute will miss him. The USI salute this great visionary for his lifetime commitment and contribution to MPH. Please convey my heartfelt condolence to the Vivet family." Kim Meman. This is Dr. Gill. "Dear Mahesh Bhai, he truly was a giant, and he certainly created a magnificent institute. Warm regards." And this is we promise that we take your vision forward. Thank you.
Thank Thank you very much, Dr. Mahesh Bhai. Your presentation really gave a lot of information to all our colleagues. Many of them they probably did not know this much information. They have been now fed with all this information. I knew from the beginning that it would become ultimately an emotional presentation. That is unavoidable. We appreciate that. And we understand that also. It is now the turn of Dr. Mohan Rajapurkar, Director, Postgraduate Studies of our hospital, to speak on this occasion. I would like to tell the audience that this is a celebration time, very happy occasion. Thank you.
Dr. Mahesh Bhai, colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I have lived through the moments that Mahesh Bhai described. I first met him long ago. I had come to MPUH thinking that I'll make a career here. Virendra Bhai was very much there at that time, and I had known of Jayaram Bhai somewhere in Mumbai, though I didn't have a chance to meet him when I first joined here. It so happened that Virendra Bhai became a patient and then passed away. The two of us were here in Nadyad. Dr. Mahesh Bhai and others used to come here from Ahmedabad, and when Virendra Bhai went away, nobody knew what would happen to this hospital and institution. I was an unproven young fellow who in his mind thought he knew everything. Those are the days of young when you tend to think that you know everything about everything and that you can do everything. It so happened that we met this visionary. I don't know how he put faith into somebody like me, totally unproven, knew nothing about administration, to lead the team at that time, under the guidance of the trustees and Dr. Mahesh Bhai here. And see, there is a very small difference between entrepreneurship of trying to do things and foolhardiness. I don't know how. At that time, I did not realize that if we failed, our adventure would have been called foolhardiness. Because it succeeded, we are called entrepreneurs, and we have produced this together with the blessings. Many of us give blessings when youngsters and all bow to you. Mostly they are blessings which mean nothing more than the words that are said at that point of time. Here was a person who blessed with material also to carry out what was dreamed. He first met me at Ocho Kaka's house after Virendra Bhai passed away. The situation was such that I had planned to go back to Pune for working there and had decided not to continue to work in Nadyad almost. Till Ocho Kaka, Vittal Bhai, Prahlad ji, and finally Jayaram Kaka told me that you can't do that after having started a fledgling transplant program. And I said, what do I know of all this? He says, don't worry, we are all there to support you. Just go for and do whatever best you can do, and we will understand if you don't succeed. On the clinical side, and today sir was there to help me, our relations were much too strong that time also, because when I first came in, I knew nobody, and then I came to know that he comes from the same college where I did my post-graduation. Much senior to me, though I did not know it till I came here. And I used to work with one of his friends, Dr. Anand Kerkar in Pune. I don't know what word Anand Kerkar put him, though he has said that in so many times. But to just believe on that and sort of get such novice to lead the team and do all this. Now, thinking back on it, it appears that because we succeeded, therefore we were right. I don't know if I would do the same today after thinking. Sometimes it's a good idea to go by your heart rather than by your head. And I do believe Jayaram Kaka did the same. He did it by his heart, not by his head. He did not ask us to present balance sheets and returns and return on investment and things like that. If he had asked, I would not have known it about. Also, I don't think Sir would have also known how to do that. We knew to look after the patient. We knew how to run for that. But knew nothing about what labor laws are. How do you look after a team? How do you look after and manage labor unions? How do you go about deciding on to payments to be done? What is the way to invest? How do you plan for something in the future when you have nothing in your pockets? He taught us all that. He was a great help to us, to me personally and to my family. As many of you know, I have gone through several life-threatening situations, and during all my cardiac surgery that I underwent, he was always there, solid as a rock. And he allowed me and our hospital to take whatever the best is available in the world without looking at the expense. That's one reason why I'm standing here today. Many instances come to our mind. He had a great love for his evening drink, and I used to share with him, and that was some of the finest moments we had. He loved music, and he was very fond of what Sujata sang. And irrespective of whether we were in sur or not, he would even listen to us. He would take great pains to find out how our children are doing, would encourage for everything. I pray to the God Almighty on behalf of all of you and us in the family, may his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Dr. Nalini Desai, may I request you to come here to say a few words, please.
I will only tell about on the personal front how he was to me and us and all of us. He was like father to me. It happens that my father was also born in the same year, so we just celebrated his centenary birthday in May. And he will take all the interest in very small things also, and whatever crisis we went through from time to time, he was there asking us, giving us support. And so I remember he's coming to Ahmedabad every month for his some other work, and then having dinner with us, with MPUH team I mean, only few people, Prahlad ji, Mohan, Bhaskaran at our place, and we used to celebrate small things those days in MPUH also, having great time in the night, evenings, and celebrate. And he always used to make me and Sujata sing his two favorite songs. So I will sing my bit, and then I will ask, Sujata has all sent a clip for us to this thing. So bear with me. ये दौलत भी ले लो, ये शोहरत भी ले लो, भले छीन ले मुझसे मेरी जवानी, मगर मुझको लौटा दो बचपन का सावन, वो कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी, वो कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी, मोहल्ले की सबसे पुरानी निशानी, वो बुढ़िया जिसे बच्चे कहते थे नानी, वो नानी की बातों में परियों का डेरा, वो चेहरे की झुर्रियों में सदियों का फेरा, नहीं भूल सकता है कोई वो छोटी सी बातें, वो लंबी कहानी, वो कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी. He had a special farmaish for Sujata. We would like to broadcast this. And with this, I pay tribute to him, Jayaram bhai. I will always remember you
this
and this
beautiful
thing.
function they have organized. The song is one of Moon's favorite songs, and Jayaram bhai used to always request this at our gatherings. Keeping those memories alive in my heart, I am wishing all of you a fantastic program today. तुम्ही मेरे मंदिर, तुम्ही मेरी पूजा, तुम्ही देवता हो, तुम्ही देवता हो. कोई मेरे आँखों में देखे तो समझे कि तुम मेरे क्या हो, कि तुम मेरे क्या हो. तुम्ही मेरे मंदिर, तुम्ही मेरी पूजा, तुम्ही देवता हो, तुम्ही देवता हो. जिधर देखती हूँ उधर तुम ही तुम हो, न जाने मगर किन ख्यालों में गुम हो. मुझे देख कर तुम जरा मुस्कुरा दो, नहीं तो मैं समझूंगी मुझसे खफा हो. तुम्ही मेरे मंदिर, तुम्ही मेरी पूजा, तुम्ही देवता हो, तुम्ही देवता हो. तुम्ही मेरे माथे की बिंदिया की झिलमिल, तुम्ही मेरे हाथों के गजरों की मंजिल. मैं हूँ एक छोटी सी माटी की गुड़िया, तुम्ही प्राण मेरे, तुम्ही आत्मा हो. तुम्ही मेरे मंदिर, तुम्ही मेरी पूजा, तुम्ही देवता हो, तुम्ही देवता हो. बहुत रात बीती, चलो मैं सुला छेड़े सरगम मैं लोरी सुना दूं बहुत रात बीती चलो मैं सुला दूं पवन छेड़े सरगम मैं लोरी सुना दूं तुम्हें देख कर ये ख्याल आ रहा है कि जैसे फरिश्ता कोई सो रहा हो तुम ही मेरे मंदिर तुम ही मेरी पूजा तुम ही देवता हो तुम ही देवता हो
Dr. Ravindra Sabnis, Chairman, Department of Urology of our hospital, will speak on this occasion now. Ravi?
Well, friends, lots of things have been already told about Jayarambai, and we are here to celebrate his birth centenary year, starting from today. Well, that way, Jayarambai Patel, when I joined this hospital way back in 1993, he was very, very active, dynamic, and he used to come quite often to the hospital and had this board meetings. And only thing what we knew about this board meeting is that it was a time for us to relax because it was an exam for Dr. Mahesh Desai. So that way we were a little happy about it. But that way our interaction was not so much with Jayarambai in the beginning. When I met him for the first time, it was a different sort of a meeting, and I remember that still. That time we used to have that seminar room above the OPD and that room was all in one. We used to eat, we used to sleep, we used to relax, we used to study, and we used to have seminar, everything in that room. And this was about a year after I joined this hospital. And we were sitting there in the evening once. And till that time I had seen Jayarambai, but I had never talked to him. And then he came in that room. That room was in a mess. But he came to that room. We were sitting. And then he asked me by name. I was shocked that how he knew my name. And I was really surprised. And then he asked me that how is everything here? How is your accommodation? How is the other things? Then I told him that nobody is going to venture to claim that if there is anything wrong. But I told him that everything is fine. And he really meant, and he wanted to know that how the things are there. Apart from the hospital activities, he was taking really keen interest about the welfare of the residents, the doctors, about their accommodation, about their children and everything. So that time I realized that he really wanted to know and make sure that residents are happy, the doctors are happy, not only from the work point of view, but also from the other aspects. I feel that the culture which he has imbibed, the promotion which he has given to the doctors from his point of view, I think was a really great thing. When I see so many hospitals and when my own friends who are working in the trust hospitals, in the corporate hospitals, their perception and their thinking about the management and the in charge of the chairman of the hospital and the trustees is completely different. And our perception about the chairman and the management and the trustees is totally different. And when I tell them that this is how our hospital functions, they certainly never believe that this is the way our hospital functions. I think the credit goes to Jayarambai to imbibe that sort of a culture. They never asked us about the target. My colleagues in our hospital, other hospitals still worry about the targets and the surgeries and the statistics, and every now and then they have to give that targets to them. But I said that we never do that. That culture never exists. and they don't believe it. I think it speaks a lot about the culture which Dr. Jayaramdas has put in our hospital, and I'm sure the way he has told us, or the vision which he has given to all of us, I think will carry forward, and we certainly will miss him. We continue to miss him, but I think if we go to the path which he has shown us, I think that will be the tribute to him. I'm sure all of us are working towards that goal and will continue to work towards that goal. Thank you very much.
Shishir, please.
Dear friends, I understand a lot has been said about him, and now I think all of you know him very well. As Dr. Sabni said, we used to have a brief interaction with him, and those interactions usually will be after the board meeting. There would be an evening dinner in the colony or somewhere, and he would come and inquire about us and our family and everything. The incident that I remember very distinctly was that it was the 25th of the Silver Jubilee celebration of our hospital, and we were all very happy that we have come a very long way, did so many things, statistics were shown, everything. And in his speech he made a very remarkable thing. He said that 25 years is a very small milestone in the history of an institution. And that made me think that really he does believe that people will pass, things will go away, but the institution should remain much longer. And I hope, and we'll all work towards it, so that one day, as we celebrate today his 100th centenary year, maybe in times to come we will have a centenary year for the institution also. And I'm sure we will do that and work towards it. Thank you very much.
I request our medical director, Dr. A.K. Rastavi, to come over here to address the gathering.
Respected Dr. Desai, Dr. Rajapurkar, senior colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, I am just 5 weeks old in the organization, but after going through this presentation and whatever I have heard about him, firstly I am not fortunate to serve under him or directly interact with him, but I consider myself very lucky to be part of that wheel which has been run into motion by a visionary like Jayaramdas bhai. I am not here as a driver or a guard. I am considering myself here as just a grease of this wheel to keep it in motion. Many of my junior colleagues must be thinking, what is the best way to pay tribute or remembrance of a visionary like Jayaram bhai? It's definitely to inculcate or imbibe few of his good habits and the work culture which he has set in the institute. And on a lighter note, being from Fauji background, I would like to say to be on time, at least for the function which has been organized in his remembrance. Thank you very much.
We are throwing this session open now. Anybody else is interested in saying anything, they are most welcome to come here. I could not on my own think about anybody else. That is why I am requesting you. Anyone wants to speak would be welcome. I request Dr. Mahesh bhai to make an announcement.
I thought, Mohan, to remember him permanently, we make a award on what you said, his vision, his dedication, the excellence in service. So we make one Jayaramdas Patel award of Staff of the Year, one, and that should be given next year on this day. We select a person, we make a committee and then select the person, and that person may be anybody from top to the bottom, and then we make this award so that we will remember. And I really appreciate Shishir, what you said, that 25 years is a very small, and we have a vision that it should go further and further. And with this, I request Rastogi Saab to make sure that norms and everything work out, and then we'll announce, and then there will be a committee which will choose at the end of the year. With this, I think we celebrate, we go outside, and we going to cut the cake. 100 years of celebration does need cutting of the cake. And I also like to mention one thing, that whatever Jayarambai vision was, whole of his family has taken over. Rohit Bhai, he is a chairman. Nita Bhabi, she has a say in all architectural thing, and then she's also very nice. And now the Pranav Bhai is our one of the board of director, and now Nandini, the daughter, is going to be one of on the trustee on the board. I think they all are by qualification and by vision training. They are. One day I remember Pranav was telling, if you remember, Jayarambai was looking at the donors and how to collect donation. So Pranav told Jayarambai, why do we want to collect the money? We give a donation ourselves. I think I would like to see that how much they felt that MPH is that. Nadiad is what you call a Punya Bhumi. There are so many saints are here, the Santram Mandir, the Savinarayan Mandir, then the Sanskrit Vidyapit, and there are Anad Ashram, there are so many good things. I think Jayarambai was born in Nadiad, and no wonder he thought of doing something for Nadiad, and he built this place which is known all over the world. I think with this tribute to him, we remember his principle, and then we'll follow that. Now I request all of you to join us for the cake cutting.
Small correction. We will cut the cake and imagine the champagne.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, and the star burns tonight. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.